Hello mga students, good morning, good afternoon, good evening sa inyong lahat. Allow me to present a discussion of past two on inventories, but by way of answering some of the problems. And within those discussions, no, may mga i-insert ako na ilang mga conceptual discussions naman before we dig into the computational aspect of those new topics, no. Since inventories are not new to you, dahil kadalasan po no ay nadidiscuss yung inventory sa basic accounting when you are accounting for the business or when you are accounting for the cycle, accounting process in a merchandising type of business. Kaya may mga topics talaga na hindi na bago sa inyo at it's more of a recall lamang no ng mga previous topics that you have already encountered. Okay. The standard that covers past two the standard that covers inventory is past two. Sa ating standard, we are talking about inclusions, exclusions of items of inventory. Kasi bibigyan kayo ng mga problems na alin dito yung kailangang isama as part of the inventory, alin naman yung hindi dapat isasama. Pero anyway, let us discuss as we proceed no, with each questions. The question number one talks about what are considered as part of your inventories. O kaya nga dito, may mga label tayo. In the cost of inventory, what can be included or what can be excluded. So for the first question, which of the following would be reported as inventory? Land acquired for resale by a real estate firm or agricultural produce held by a farm? O kaya naman, eto no, partially completed goods held by a manufacturing company or machinery acquired by a manufacturing company for use in the production process. So, alin dito sa apat ang isinasama natin to be reported as part of your inventory? Okay, class. Letter A is included, no? While we talk about land generally as part of PPE, an item of property, plant, and equipment, but if the purpose of the acquisition of the land ay para ibenta po ito, as in the case of real estate developers, no? Land acquired for resale by them is included as part of their inventories, not as items of PPE. Okay? So, one, kasama. So, kung kasama yan, meron ka dalang option letter A or option letter B. Okay. Pangalawa, agricultural produce held by a farm. Kasama ba yan? Dito, sa option mo, kung unang choice ay isasama, edi malamang kasama po ito, no? Agricultural produce held by a farm. Class, we also have another standard on PAS 41. Okay? PAS 41 talks about agriculture and this is discussed after the discussion of inventories. Or depende no, sa mga eskwelahan kung paano nila inaatake itong mga subjects na ito sa intermediate accounting. Pangatlo, partially completed goods held by a manufacturing company. Partially. Plus, itong partially na ito, partially completed, ito yung tinatawag natin na work in process inventory. Kasi class, no, in a manufacturing setting, there are three types of inventory na nasasatisfy or na nahahagip doon sa definition ng inventory according to PAS 2. Held for sale in the ordinary course of business. Ito yung mga finished goods sa manufacturing setting. O ito yung mga partially completed goods or yung mga work in process. O ito yun, item number 3. At saka yung mga raw materials inventories. So, partially completed goods in a manufacturing type of business is considered as part of your inventory. Okay? As part of your inventory. So, therefore, kasama ito. Lahat pa naman yan sa A and B, parehas, di ba? Covered. Ang magdedetermine kung kasama ba or hindi yung item 4, which is machinery acquired by a manufacturing company for use in the production process. class. Hindi po yan kasama. Therefore, your answer is letter B, 1, 2, and 3. Because item number 4, machineries are included under PAS 16. They are items of property, plant, and equipment. Okay? Eto no, agricultural produce. Paki-take note po nito no. Um, Kasi meron tayong, sabi ko nga kanina, PAS 41. Ang covered kasi ng PAS 41 ay biological assets and agricultural produce at the point of harvest. Pero once the agricultural produce are harvested, halimbawa, yung mga bunga ng mangga, inani na, tapos ibebenta na sa palengke, o that is already reclassified no as item of what? Inventories. Kasi ang purpose na ay para ibenta. So dito, we consider that this agricultural produce will be held for sale already. Okay? Na ano na sila? Nasungkit na. Naanin na sila para ibenta. Okay. Anyway, we have a separate lectures naman on PAS 41. Number 2. Which of the following shall be included in the cost of inventories is still under the topic inclusions and exclusions? Letter A, sinasama ba natin yung selling cost? The answer is no. Hindi po natin ito isinasama kaya wala po ito sa choice. Ang tinatanong is, I mean, wala ito sa choice. Hindi po ito yung tamang sagot, no? Ang tinatanong dito is, which of the following shall be included? How about freight charges? Ang freight charges depende sa shipping terms mo. FOB destination, FOB shipping point. Kapag FOB destination, the transfer of title ownership to the inventories acquired will pass on from the seller to the buyer when the goods are delivered to the buyer. During transit, when the goods are in transit, habang bumabiyahe pa po yung inventories, yung freight ay dapat salo no, ni seller. Charge niya dapat yung shipping cost. Therefore, etong freight charges on goods acquired ay hindi po isinasama as part of the cost of inventory. Okay? Letter C, abnormal amounts. Nakita nyo agad, abnormal. We only talk about normal amounts of wasted material, labor, or other production cost na isinasama po as part of your cost of inventory. On a separate accounting subject, cost accounting and control, no, doon naman po pinag-uusapan paano yung treatment, paano yung mga computation ng mga normal versus abnormal wastages. Pero from intermediate accounting side, no, ang mga abnormal amounts ay expensed when incurred. Yung mga normal ay capitalized. So, abnormal ito, edi excluded dapat yan sa cost of inventory. So, ibig sabihin, ang natitira na lang, ito, letter D, storage cost. Generally, no, dapat ang storage cost ay expense when incurred. Pero dito nakalagay, necessary daw siya. Kailangan siya to further the production process. Kasi limbawa, you need to store an item of inventory in a cold storage because that specific item requires a certain temperature, no? Kunwari below freezing. So necessary yan to further the production. Ay di kailangan po yang isama as part of the cost of inventory. Okay? So that's question number 2. Proceed tayo sa question number 3. Under shipping terms daw, the buyer pays for the freight. Sinong magbabayad ng pamasahe? Freight is pamasahe, di ba? Si buyer. Pero dapat daw ang nagsushoulder ng pamasahe ay si seller. Kaso binayaran ni buyer. Posible po yan. Ano? Kasi tandaan po ninyo, meron tayong mga FOB destination, FOB shipping point, pero meron din tayong freight, prepaid freight collect. So, nagkakaroon tayo ng matrix dyan, nagiging 4 yung pwedeng mangyari. FOB, shipping point, freight collect, FOB, shipping point, freight prepaid, FOB, destination, freight collect, FOB, destination, freight prepaid. Which is yung choices natin sa A, B, C, and D. So, alin dito yung tamang sagot? Legally must be borne by the seller, so dapat FOB destination yan. Kasi the ownership will retain to the seller while the goods are in transit. Pero sino yung nagbayad? Ang nagbayad ay si buyer, prepaid or collect? Collect. Therefore, the answer is letter D. Okay? So that's for number 3. Next. Ito yung common sa mga problems na may encounter po ninyo ano, sa quizzes or sa mga examinations. Pero ito mga ano no, simple to average type of or sabihin na natin average type of questions na multiple choice pero problem solving ang approach. This is part uh some of the questions no if not all are included in the reference book that we have that we use no which is the book of Din Implay and Prof Robles. Mga older edition nga lang ito kasi mapapansin ninyo 2019, 2020. So I'm not sure, di ko na maalala kung anong taon, anong edition ng libro na ito. Pero makikita niyo pa rin po ito sa inyong mga libro. Either updated yung mga yung mga taon, pati na siguro yung mga amounts. Pero kaya ano lang, please take these questions ano, no, with a degree of caution when you are looking, comparing it from the book. Baka mamaya may nabago sa mga amounts. Ang inventory daw as of year-end, December 31, 2019 ay 1.5 million base sa pagbibilang, no, based on a physical count. Okay? Pero before any necessary year-end adjustments relating to these two items below. Una, before year-end ha, not necessarily excluded po ito. Kaya nga, unang item natin, sabi dito, included in the physical count. Kasama daw sa physical count ay goods billed to a customer FOB shipping point. Oh, kasi ano no, at some point, at many points in your ano no, business operations, you can be the seller or you can be the buyer. Kaya kailangan bantayan po natin dito yung mga terms na ginagamit para mabigyan tayo ng hint kung sino ba tayo dito. Si seller ba or si buyer? Kasi sometimes the statements are not directly stating that you are the seller or you are the buyer. Pero may mga hints dyan na nagpapahiwatig na okay, ikaw si seller or ikaw si buyer. In this case, goods were billed to a customer. Binil si customer. So sino ka dito? You are the seller. Ano ang shipping, ano mo, term mo? FOB shipping point. Kung ikaw dito si seller tapos FOB shipping point, edi dapat tanggalin mo na ito sa libro, no? Kung na-deliver na ito in December or bago matapos yung taon. Okay? Ito yung shipping terms. Pero, sabi dito, na-pick up ng carrier January 10 pa of the following year. So, ang tanong dito ngayon, etong 30,000, no? Kasi yung cost niya ay 30,000. Careful kasi baka mamaya selling price yung pinipick up natin na amount, kailangan natin yun i-convert to cost when we are referring to inventories. Kasi yung selling price, ito po yung receivable, ito yung sales mo. But the cost is less than the profit margin. Okay? So, anong gagawin ko sa 30,000? Ibabawas ko ba, idadagdag ko, or ignore ko lang? So, yun yung ating assessment na kailangan gawin. Pangalawa, mamaya ko na sasagutin. Ano? Dito muna tayo sa pangalawa. Goods shipped, FOB shipping point. On December 28, 2019, from a vendor, ano yung ipinadala? Sino si seller? Sino si buyer? Si Robertson ba is the seller or the buyer? Sabi dito, galing kay vendor papunta kay Robertson. So, ibig sabihin, ikaw ngayon dito si buyer. Ang vendor ay si seller, no? So, in the problems, you will encounter the vendor term, no? The vendee term. Vendor is the seller. Okay? Na-receive ng January 4, 2020 and the invoice cost was 50. Walang problema, no? Kapag yung invoice cost ang nilagay, kung ikaw si buyer, yun na mismo yon. Pero kung ikaw si seller, kailangan mong kunin yung cost nun. Dito sa pangalawang example naman, you are the buyer. You are the vendee, si Robertson yung customer. So yung invoice cost, yun yung ilalagay mo as part of the cost of inventory. So anong gagawin ko dito? Idadagdag ko, ibabawas, or ignore ko lang. So coming from 1.5 million, what will I do? Should I ignore the 30,000, add or minus? Should I ignore the 50,000, add or minus? Class, ang tamang sagot po natin dito ay letter D, dog. Ang isasama lang natin ay etong 50,000. Ignore po ito kasi properly included yan, while FOB shipping point ang shipping term natin, pero na-pick up pa lamang po ito ng third-party carrier, yung mga courier, January 10. So, tama lang naman na inventory pa yan ni Robertson as of year-end kasi hindi pa napipick up. Tandaan ninyo ha, ang ano no, ang magti-trigger ng pagde-recognize ng inventory at pagre-recognize ng sales ay kapag umalis na yan, nakuha na yan kay seller. Eh nakuha January 10 pa. So December 31, inventory mo pa. Okay, so I hope I am clear with this illustration. Okay? Oh, next. Question number 5. Lima yung kailangang i-consider. Sige. Please, study this carefully. Yung inventory on hand mo daw on December 31, 2019, valued at 3 million. On hand, no? Ito yung physical. Okay. Nabilang. The following items were not included. So, etong mga nakabullets dito, 5 items na ito, hindi pa po yan na isasama or na i-consider dito sa 3 million. Yung iba dyan, baka kailangang isama, yung iba, baka kailangang wag pansinin. So, ano yung mga isasama kung merong isasama? Dito class, meron tayong mga mga in transit at saka yung mga consignment. Okay. So, nabanggit na natin yung mga in transit, no? Sa mga goods in transit, bumabiyahe pa yung mga inventory, so wala pa sa inyong location, pero baka kailangan ng isama dahil sa ating shipping term. Meron din tayong mga inventories na wala physically sa iyong warehouse, wala doon kay kay halimbawa in this case si SM Walter Mart, pero nandoon kasi sa lugar ng iba. Pero inventory mo pa, so dapat isasama mo siya as part of your inventory even if physically it is not available on your premises. But technically, it should be part of your inventory. Okay? Unahin na natin ito. Goods in transit. Binili mo. O, purchase. Ito, obvious naman. Bumili. Ikaw si buyer. Pero FOB destination. O, sabi natin, dapat FOB shipping point. So, ignore mo na yan. Okay? Kasi, binili mo, FOB destination, wala pa naman eh. Okay? In transit pa kasi. Pangalawa, ikaw naman si seller dito kasi sold. In transit, FOB destination. Invoice price mo 490, kasama na yung 40,000 na shipping fee. You are the seller, FOB destination. The freight should be shouldered by you, being the seller. So this is a freight out or transportation expense. Pero, anong gagawin ko dyan? Isasama ko ba yan sa inventory? Kasi hindi po ito kasama sa inventory. Anong assessment ninyo? 490 kasama yung freight na 40. Hold muna natin yung sagot, no? Para ma-identify muna natin yung mga options. Skip natin yung pangatlo. Dito muna tayo sa pang-apat kasi in transit din ito. Goods purchased in transit. Binili mo na naman ito, ikaw si buyer. Pero FOB shipping point. So, bumili ka, FOB shipping point in transit, dapat sa'yo na ito. Tama ba? Ang invoice ay 600 tapos may freight amounting to 60. So kung isasama mo ito, at what amount? 600 or 660 or ibabawas ko kaya yung 60,000. So 1, 2, and 3. Now, we also have here yung mga consigned goods. Pag consignment, dito nag apply yung mga principal agent relationship. Kung ikaw si consignor, okay, dapat inventory mo pa yon pero you ask someone to sell it on your behalf. Yung iyong mga agents, okay? You are the principal, you are the consignor. The inventory should rightfully belong to you even if it is in the premise of another company. Halimbawa, ako ay isang manufacturing company, pinapabenta ko kay SM yung aking mga inventories naka-display on their mga malls, pero akin pa rin dapat yan. Kasi naka-consign lang yung goods na yon. So, dito, meron tayo sa pangatlo, goods held. Ito, held on consignment. Careful tayo sa pag-analyze ng mga statements, no? Ito, on consignment, pero hawak-hawak natin. Held on consignment. So, hindi po ito inventory ni SM Walter Mart. So, ignore mo lamang po itong pangatlo. Samantalang itong panglima, out on consignment. Nagpa-consign ka. Kasi yung goods ay naka-out pero on consignment. Pero dito meron kang sales price na 300,000. Ito yung selling price. Ito yung receivable mo dapat kung mabebenta mo. And then meron kang shipping cost na 30,000. So ang tanong, magkano ang correct cost of inventory? Kasi 3 million definitely is not the answer. Ay wala naman yan sa choices. Okay. Ibigay natin yung sagot para makita po ninyo kung tama ang sagot ninyo. Ayan, ano? The answer is letter B, boy. 4,190,000. Paano ba ito matanggal na? Ayan. Okay, so from 3 million, ano yung mga dinagdag natin? Eto, no, 300,000. Pero yung 300,000 na yan, hindi po yan yung unang bullet, ha. Nagkataon lang na 300,000 din yan. Pero eto po yun, no. Yung binenta mo, pero FOB destination, sa'yo pa dapat yung inventory, kaso lumabas na yan, tinanggal mo na sa inventory mo. Ibalik mo muna. Pero at what amount? 490 yung invoice price kasama itong 40,000, tanggalin mo yon. So dapat meron kang 450,000. But the 450,000 is the accounts receivable. Divide mo ng 150% para makuha natin yung 300,000. Okay? Andito naman po sa solusyon sa baba yung way para malaman natin kung paano ito kinukumpute. Okay po. Ayan. What else? Yung 660, alin yan? Definitely, explain ko sa inyo kanina, held on consignment, hindi na po yan kasama, di ba? Dito tayo. Yung buyer ka, tapos FOB shipping point, sa'yo na yan, 600 plus 60. Hence, isasama din natin yung 660,000. Okay? Also, etong out on consignment, ibalik mo. But not at 300,000, kung hindi, at 230,000 pesos. Okay? Sir, paano yun? 150%, di ba? 300,000 divided by 150%. The answer is 200. Pero pag mayroon kang shipping cost, pero for consignment, ipinapasa mo, additional necessary cost pa yon. So, 230,000 yung idadagdag mo. Di magkano yon? 3 million plus 300 plus 660 plus 490. The answer is 4,190,000. All right. So, I hope we are clear with question number 5. Next, ito ay discussion po ng mga special items na makikita po ninyo sa libro. So, meron tayong mga segregated goods na nakaset aside. Ano ba ang gagawin ko doon? Sa isang kwarto o sa isang warehouse, may nakatabi na ng mga libro. Ano ba yan? Naibenta na ba yan? Or papaano po ba yan? Ano ang treatment ko dyan? Isasama ko ba sa aking inventory or wag ko lang papansinin yun? Anong sabi dito? Kung custom-made, made to order, mga special order goods, manufactured according to customer specification. Class, tandaan po ninyo, even if the inventory are still in the possession of the selling company. Considered as sold yan kapag completed na. So, ibig sabihin, kung natapos na yan, okay, considered as sold na yan kahit na nandoon pa sa premise ni seller. Nakaset aside siya doon. So, dapat tatanggalin mo siya kasi sabi natin, considered as sold, pag binenta mo na, edi dapat tatanggalin mo rin yung inventory. So, it should be excluded in your inventory. Okay? Why? Eto, no? Sabi kasi dito, si manufacturer undertakes, completes the processing of the goods based on the order and specification of the customer, and therefore, at the point of completion, i-recognize mo na yung revenue earned. Okay, sometimes, no? Well, syempre, yung payment, minsan nag-advance payment, yung iba late. O kaya nga, meron kang mga accrual, meron kang mga deferral. Pero yung revenue recognition, once it is completed, yung mga special order goods, consider as sold na yan. Whether na-deliver na or nandoon pa sa premise ni seller. At yung inventory, tanggalin mo na rin. Okay? Pero class, eto, no? Yung mga mass manufactured, yung mga goods that are customarily manufactured and constitute stock items. Pag sinabi nating stock items, no, pare-parehas identical, pero yung iba mga stock lang. Para kung sakali man na maubos, meron ka pang available stock. Yung mga naka-out na ubos na, meron ka pang inventory dyan para may mapagkukunan ka, no, bago ka mag-restock, magpa-restock, ano ulit, no, kumuha ulit ng panibagong supply. So kahit na physically segregated yan, pero stock items yung mga yan, hindi pa po yan nabebenta. They are considered unsold even if physically segregated because the nature of the inventory is that it is considered as stock items. Pondo mo sa mga susunod, no? Unless they are delivered or picked up by the customer, then you have to retain it as part of your inventories. Okay? So, segregated goods, we exclude it in the inventory kung special order, even if it is still part of your location. Ano? Pero yung mga stock items, kasama pa dapat yan sa inventory. Okay? What else? Ito naman, mga conditional sales, installment sales. O paano naman yung treatment natin dyan? O eto, kinulayan ko na ha. Regular sale daw. O paano ang regular sale? Kasi 'di ba sa mga installment sales, babayaran mo 'yan multiple times. Naka-installment yung payment. Nagbabayad ka pero napapakinabangan mo na siya. Eh kung napapakinabangan mo na siya, kung ikaw si buyer, the substance of the transaction tells us that control already passed from the seller to the buyer. Kasi ikaw na yung nag enjoy eh. Halimbawa, bumili ka ng brand new na cellphone kay Globe or kay Smart, postpaid. Installment mo for 2 years. Sino nang gumagamit? Ikaw, bilang buyer. So dapat inventory na yun ni buyer, tanggalin na yun kay seller. Even if the payment will be made periodically for a span of time. Okay? So si seller tatanggalin yung inventory sa libro niya. Si buyer i-recognize yung inventory. Okay? Ayan po conditional sales, installment sales. O eto nabanggit na natin yung mga merchandise in the possession of others pero isasama pa rin sa inventory balance such as yung mga held on consignment, tapos yung mga goods in transit. Sa held on consignment, parehas din ito. O in the hands of salespersons or agents. Kasi parehas sila mayroong principal-agent relationship. Sa law, meron tayong tinatawag na law on agency to sell. Okay? Goods held by customer on approval. Hawak-hawak ni customer yung item, pero subject to approval pa. So even if it's already in the possession of the customer, pero if that is subject to approval, inventory pa dapat yan ni seller. And also those goods held by others for storage, processing, or shipment. So kahit na wala yan sa physical premise ni seller, kasi pinapa-store niya, halimbawa sa ibang lugar, kung may cold storage, or walang pwesto na sa opisina para paglagyan ng mga ibang inventory, wala akong warehouse. Kukuha ako ng third party na nag-store, no? Yun yung kanilang business model, yun yung kanilang negosyo, taga-store ng gamit ng iba, or for processing or for shipment. Those are considered as part of the inventory of the, ano no, of halimbawa, if ABC company. Kung sino yung nagpa-store, sino yung nagpa-process, or sino yung nagpapa-ship. Okay? So, careful kayo doon sa mga not physically located in the company, pero dapat kailangan mong isama. Paano naman po itong goods with buyback agreement? Pag sinabi nating buyback agreement, no, kasama sa kontrata na, okay, ibebenta ko, halimbawa ako si seller, ibebenta ko sa iyo yung isang item of inventory, pero with a condition that at the end of, let's say, after 5 years, bibilhin ko ito sa iyo. So, meron tayong buyback. Bebenta ko sa iyo, pero after a certain point in time, kukunin ko to sa iyo, pero syempre, babayaran kita. Plus, inform, no, meron tayong sales in form, no? But in substance, ito ay isang product financing arrangement. Anong ibig niyan sabihin? Si seller nangutang kay buyer, ginawang collateral yung inventory. Nakuha ba? So, ayan ano, nakakulay pula. Inventory is used as a collateral for a loan obtained. Bakit? Bebenta ko sa'yo, pero not really. Yun lang yung mukha niya, pero yung totoo, mangungutang ako sa'yo, pahinging pera, pero hawakan mo muna yan, gagawin mo yung collateral para later on, kung hindi ako makapagbayad, at least meron kang security. Okay? So, ginagawa ko siyang collateral for the loan that I obtained from you. So, anong ibig nito sabihin? Kung ako ay nagbenta sa'yo ng inventory, pero ang totoo, pinautang ko ito, yung inventory dapat ay ire-record ko pa rin. Okay? So, ikaw, na pinasa ko yung item of inventory, you do not obtain the control of the asset. You are holding it as a security only. So, wala sa'yo yung inventory, nasa akin pa dapat. Kung tinanggal ko ito, dapat ibabalik ko siya. Okay? And then, syempre, magre-recognize ako ng separate accounts no for the loan obtained because of the financing arrangement. Tapos, yung consideration, received from the transfer shall be recognized as a financial liability. So, meron akong financial liability na i-recognize. Pero syempre, ang pinag-uusapan natin dito, anong gagawin ko sa inventory? Yung inventory na ibinigay ko sa iyo para panghawakan mo as security, inventory ko pa rin. So, dapat nasa libro ko pa rin. Okay? Paano naman po itong goods sold with refund offers? In some cases daw, buyers are given the right to cancel the purchase of goods for a reason specified in a sales contract. Binenta ko, pero may option to refund. May refund offers. Although class no, meron kasi tayong IFRS 15, the standard on revenue from contracts with customer. Under this IFRS 15, meron tayong kailangang i-consider para masabi natin na meron dapat i-recognize na revenue si seller. Okay? Hindi po natin yan pinag-uusapan sa intermediate accounting. That is accounted for under a separate accounting subject, if I'm not mistaken, under accounting for special transactions. Pero ano yung ano natin dito? Guidance. The recognition of revenue implies that the corresponding transfer of goods be removed from the inventory at the carrying amount kung meron na tayong benta. If under the application of IFRS 15, na-satisfy yung requirement para mag-recognize ng revenue, so pag nag-recognize ka ng revenue, tanggalin mo na rin yung related liability, yung related inventory. Okay? So, in this case, no, si buyer binibigyan ng karapatan na i-cancel yung purchase of goods for a valid reason. So, ako si seller, may revenue na ako, tatanggalin ko yung inventory, pero meron akong i-establish na refund liability. In the event, no, na i-cancel or ibalik sa akin ni buyer, no, i-avail niya yung refund. Okay? Tapos meron akong i-recognize din na asset para doon sa aking karapatan na i-recover yung produkto na yon galing kay customer. Pero since may revenue ako na i-recognize, kailangan ko ring i-recognize, tatanggalin ko rin dapat yung related inventory. Okay? So, sa madaling salita, goods sold with refund offers, tanggal na po dapat yung inventory sa libro ni seller kasi nag-recognize siya ng revenue in accordance with IFRS 15. Okay? Ano pa? Ito pa, isa pa. Layaway plans and bill and hold sales. Paano naman itong mga layaway plans and bill and hold sales? Ito yung kabaligtaran ng ano no, installment sales. Sa installment sales, nakuha na ni customer yung item of inventory pero installment niya itong binabayaran. Dito naman, sa bill and hold sale, magbayad ka muna installment pero hindi mo pa makukuha yung inventory hanggang hindi mo pa ito nababayaran ng buo. Okay? So, kaparehas lang siya. Ang pinagkaiba is nasaan yung inventory. In this case, na kay seller pa rin yung inventory. So, the store holds the merchandise. Ayan, ano? Ay, bakit ganun? And delivers to customer only upon full payment of the goods. So, dahil hawak-hawak mo pa rin yung inventory, so technically, si seller ang may control sa inventory na yon. So, wala kang i-recognize na sales at yung inventory dapat nandyan pa rin sa'yo. Okay? Okay? Kasi under IFRS 15, revenue is recognized when the customer obtains control of the product. Eh, wala pa nga. So, therefore, pag mga bill and hold sales, hindi pa po ito inventory ni buyer na kay seller pa rin yan. Pero sa installment sales, inventory na yun ni buyer, tatanggalin mo kay seller. Nakuha yung difference? I hope yes. No? So the recognition of revenue is made simultaneously with the recognition of inventory. So that's it. Okay? So there you go. Next, I will be making a cut no dito sa aking discussion para hindi siya isang buong recording hanggang sa dulo. Taking into consideration that some of the items here in the problems requires further analysis no. So, etong mga susunod na mga questions in maiksi lang ito at saka covers also the inclusions and exclusions with consideration of discounts. So, isasama na rin natin siya. Oh, question number 6. Ang tinatanong din dito, cost of inventory. Pero may discount. Sabi sa atin sa past 2, kung meron tayong mga discounts, kailangang ibawas. Pero dito, pinag-uusapan natin trade discount. So, anong gagawin ko sa trade discount? Sabi natin, yung trade discount is not recognized. Kung binigyan tayo ng list price or yung catalog price, kailangan natin tanggalin yung mga trade discount. Only the invoice price yung i-record mo. So, kung ang list price mo ay 90,000, tapos meron kang trade discount na 20 and 10. Pag sinabi nating 20 and 10, the series of discount ka dito, no? Tanggalin mo yung 20% sa 90,000. Pagkatanggal mo ng 20%, tanggalin mo ulit yung 10% doon sa kung magkano man yung halaga na yon. Tapos, ibalik mo or idagdag mo itong 5,000. Kasi free charge ito, you are the buyer. So, magkano yon? 90,000 times 80% times 90% plus 5,000. The answer is letter D, 69,800. Okay? So, application po ito ng mga reduction in the price because of trade discount. Debit, purchases, or inventory, depending on the method, the inventory system used, and credit accounts payable. Kasi pag meron kayong makikita ng mga payment terms, ibig sabihin, inutang po yan ni buyer sa supplier. Okay? Doon naman, yung applicable doon is the purchase discount or yung cash discount. Next, similar, no? Series of discounts. May trade discount ka na 15, 10, and 5. Ito naman yung ating credit term, 2/11 and over 30. Magkano daw yung invoice price ng merchandise? Eh di ganun din, kagaya ng ano, similar sa problem number 6. 150,000 times 85% times 90% times 95%. Shortcut. Imbes na 150,000 times 85%. Tapos kung magkano yung amount nun, no, times 90%. I mean, baliktad, no? 150,000 times 15%. Yung amount na yun, ibawas mo sa 150,000. Tapos, kung magkano yung kakalabasan nun, multiply mo ng 10%, ibawas mo sa amount na nakuha natin previously. Eh, medyo matrabaho yun. Ineto mo na lang. 150,000 times 85% times 90% times 95%. The answer is letter C, 109,012 pesos and 50 centavos. So, that's it. Na? Okay? So, I'll guess we'll have to cut this recording, no? Up to this point. Kasi yung susunod na pag-usapan natin ay cost formula. Medyo kakain din ito ng oras. And probably I will relate this next question, ano, with some of my materials that I've made in the past, no? Dahil doon sa mga basic accounting subjects. Okay? So, hanggang dyan po muna tayo sa ngayon. Let me know if you have any questions. Maraming salamat. I'll see you soon sa susunod na recording. Bye-bye.